Sorry for that. Let us come back here. I will say that arteries carry blood away from the heart, all of them. An example is here. Let us look at this illustration. That this is the body, this is the heart, and this is the lungs. So this blood vessel that carries blood away from the heart back to the lungs is called pulmonary artery. That is an artery carrying blood from the heart back to the lungs. And then there's this one carrying blood from the heart to all parts of the body. That is it's called the aorta, which we, in the first video, I remember I said this is the main artery. And pulmonary artery is the only artery that carries deoxygenated blood from the heart back to the lungs. Because another feature of the artery is that they carry oxygenated blood, except pulmonary artery. That's okay? Now, we can go to the next one. The next one is called veins. Veins. So what are veins? One of the features of veins is that we have said that arteries are deeply located. So veins will be superficially located. Superficially means what? Shallow. You can see them. I've said maybe when the weather is too hot or maybe I've done a vigorous activity like running, playing around and maybe doing some quite difficult job. You will I'm told that some of the people when they are angry, you see some veins appearing in their forehead and so on. So veins, you can just see them appearing. So they are superficially located, not like the arteries which are deeply located. Another thing is that they carry blood towards the heart. They carry blood towards the heart. Unlike the arteries which carry blood away from the heart. An illustration, for example, we have the heart there. The heart, the lungs, and then the body. So, you have said that they carry blood towards the heart. Pulmonary vein carries blood from the lungs, oxygenated blood from the lungs back to the heart. So they are carrying blood towards the heart, not away. The ones that carry blood away from the heart, they are the arteries. This one, they carry blood towards the heart. The same. Vena cava coming from the body parts to the heart. So this is vena cava and this is pulmonary vein. Another thing is that these veins, they carry deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. Except one. This one. Except pulmonary vein, which carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. The next thing is that they have a wide lumen. For example, if you draw a blood vessel like that, and then this one will have wider lumen. That one. So this is the lumen. This is the thin. And it is thin what? It is thin, non-elastic. Elastic wall. Elastic means they can contract and they can expand and contract. So this one they cannot because they are non-elastic. And then also that wall will enable them, like the arteries, because the blood flows under high pressure, the elastic wall is able to sustain the pressure so that they don't break. The thin and elastic wall in veins, because this blood, the blood here, flows under low pressure. Under low pressure. So a difference between arteries and veins. We say that in arteries blood flows under high pressure, but in veins blood flows under low pressure. Why? Because of this wide lumen. Wide lumen, it is a bigger room, this room for blood just to flow. Unlike in arteries, the blood need to flow under high pressure because of the narrow, very narrow lumen. So I've talked about two here. They have thin non-elastic wall. The blood flows under low pressure. They have wide lumen, and then they have something called what? They have a valve. For example, I can draw it here. This one is called a valve. So in the circulatory system, we have valves in the heart and also in veins. So what's the function of this valve? To prevent loss of blood. The valves. I've said the valves are found in two parts. One in the veins and in the heart. So that's all about the veins for now. Maybe we can talk about the last one. Now, we have talked about two so far, two blood vessels, arteries and veins. Just a summary before we discuss capillaries is that I've said arteries, veins. Arteries carry blood away from the heart, veins carry blood towards the heart. I think that one is clear. And then we have also compared the walls, the wall of the arteries and the wall of veins. We have said that veins have thin non-elastic wall and arteries have thick elastic wall. We have also talked about that how do blood flow? How is the blood flow in arteries and veins? And we have said that in veins blood flows under low pressure. There is no pressure. There is no pulse. But in arteries there is high pressure. So the blood flows under high pressure in arteries and so on. So the last blood vessel I want us to talk about today is capillaries. This is the third, and maybe I usually like joking about this, that capillaries act like the last bones. So if you're a last bone, can you comment there? Capillaries are like the last bone in this group of blood vessels. Why? Because they are the smallest blood vessels, and then they are found everywhere. In the body. They reach every part of the body. If you look deeply, very keen through your eye, anyway, when you maybe use a mirror, you'll have to see, you'll see some red thread-like structures in your eye, and that is what we call the capillaries. So, I've said that they are the smallest, they reach every part of the body, and then they allow movement of oxygen. This is oxygen. They allow movement of oxygen and food nutrients after digestion. In the ileum, the food nutrients available there. They will be allowed by the capillaries to get into the blood, and now they're transported to all parts of the body. That's why when you eat proteins, when you want to grow, we usually say that proteins enable us to be grow up, and maybe the body organs maybe grow. Foods like fruits, they will help our bodies maybe to fight diseases and so on. So those nutrients are in the ileum. So who is responsible for taking those nutrients from the ileum is the capillaries. then direct to the blood, then the blood of course will flow to all parts of the body, distributing those particular nutrients. The same thing happens when you talk about the waste products now. After the blood has been used, the waste products are there now. The blood has been taken maybe back to the kidney to be purified and so on. These waste products, who is carrying them back now? The capillaries. So that's why we are saying this point here, that they connect veins and arteries. They are just connectors. And then they allow movement of carbon dioxide and waste, I've talked about that, from the body back to the blood. So these are the vessels that are responsible of taking that carbon dioxide back to the blood, then the blood will flow back to the heart will pump that blood back to the lungs to be purified and so on and so on. So how do they connect? These are the, so let's draw this here. So let's say and then maybe just a challenge, if I draw that and then depending on the information about the narrow lumen and the wide lumen, you can be able to identify blood vessel A and blood vessel B. So, looking at this lumen, we can say this is a vein. Why? Because the lumen here, the opening here, there is quite large as compared to this one. This is very narrow, so this is an artery. So that's an artery, this is a vein. I think that's okay. So we have three blood vessels. So here you'll find that there are so many of them. So these are the capillaries. So these are the three main blood vessels that we have that are taking part in circulating the blood throughout the body. So if you didn't know, now you will know.